Hi, welcome back to Danny Harris Arts. Had to step outside a minute on my property here and go check some trail cameras that need the batteries replaced in it, so I stepped out to do that. Decided I'd go ahead and shoot the intro to the next video here. So this will be part 7 of the Bluegill Bream Wood Carving project, and in this segment I'm going to be hand painting all the details. So I hope you enjoy it, and I'm going to get inside and get started. Okay, I'm going to start off on these tipping top scales. I'm going to start on the head down, and if you see on a bluegill right on the top of the head here, the hump, the scale tips are almost black. So what I'm going to be using is some burnt umber with some black, and I'm going to make it almost black, but not complete, not jet black. So then I'm going to fade this from black. It'll kind of fade from black to green. So I got metallic green here that I'll start adding into it here in a few minutes. For my tipping, I'm going to be using this 2-aught brush. I have to get my glasses on, I can't see the scales. Okay, I've taken that black, that dark color I was using for the first part of it here, and I've added this, added this metallic green in here. So I don't know if that's going to show up on camera, but it's got just a little bit, it's darker, not quite black, but it's got a little bit of metallic shine to it. And what I'll do here is I'll go start fading these out to a darker green along the back. And I'm just going to follow this around to this side like I did over here. One thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to go over some of these, some of this green, just to kind of blend them in to where they kind of fade into this lighter color. Just adding a little bit over the top of it. So I'll do the same thing over here too. Okay, before I get too far down with the scale tipping, I'm going to kind of dry brush in these bars a little darker. And I'm just using the black, a little bit of the brown burnt umber. And it's just a very, very dry brush. You can wipe it off my shirt a little bit. These will get scale tips also. Alright, so I've got the bars worked in here. I want to start working from the bottom up now so that I can blend them in a little better in the middle. So I'll kind of work in them. And what I've done here is I've taken me some cat orange, burnt sienna, and a little bit of this green, and mixed it in here. So I've got kind of this burnt orange color, and I'm just going to go down here through here and start putting in the scale tips on here on the bottom. Let me look at a reference photo here real quick. So basically I'm going to be adding these scale tips in down here. Those are pretty green there, so I have the green left up for here. It's kind of hard to get behind this in here, so I'm going to get down here close. I'm going to strive on my next project to really pay a little more close attention to the fit and finish of these fins, because it would really be so much easier if I could do those off the fish and paint them and then just slide them into a pre-made hole that fits clean. When you see a reproduction mount, the fiberglass mounts, their fins are separate and they're molded to fit perfectly. So it's a lot of those guys that do those reproduction mounts will paint the fins separate, then all they have to do is glue them in place. And I'm really going to strive to try that next time on this one, on the next project. Okay, so I've decided to darken the green and cover up a little bit of this pink in between these bars. And so I'm just going to dry brush some a little bit darker green in between the bars here. Alright, put a thin wash of black with a tiny bit of Prussian blue and white. And it's really, really thin, just water thin. Doing a wash over these fins. I'll let that dry good, and I'll do that several times. I need to do some highlights on these fins, and it's going to take a super dry brush to do that. And I think I'm just going to use a little tiny bit of burnt sienna. You know, when I was a kid, growing up, you know, these were called, I knew they were called bluegill, but for some reason, I always had it in my head that this was the gill, and it was always black or real dark. Thinking, why is it called a bluegill when that thing is black? But, alright, let's see here. Taking a little bit of this metallic turquoise here, just kind of going over this blue and here and tapping it off, just giving it a little bit more intensity. Here I'm just adding a real thin wash of this cad yellow, real thin, just to kind of tone it down a little bit. Alright, so now I'm taking some of this, where'd it go here? This green, it's just a green shimmer, iridescent. There's no color to it, it just has green. And I don't know if that's going to show or not on there. Maybe a little bit. You can see where I'm just barely touching some of these scale tips. Just so I have just a little bit of iridescence. when you look at it just right. And I'm just putting a little tiny bit on, rubbing it in. I've also got pigment powder. That's this is a dual blue-green, so it's got a blue-green shift. I'm gonna put that down here on. It doesn't take much to get it. Just want a hint of, iridescence there. And I'm going to put some down here. Let me get a bigger tip here. I'm just applying this with these tiny micro applicators, like a little tiny Q-tip. I want a little bit down here in this blue area, just to give it a little bit of sparkle. And I'll spray that with a polyurethane. Don't take much. All right, a couple coats of a matte polyurethane, seal everything in, and she's done, or he's done, other than mounting him to the habitat base. Okay, that's going to be it for part 7 of this Bluegill Bream Wood Carving project, and this guy is done. Like I said, except for the habitat base. I still got to finish painting the rocks, and then I have to drill a hole in the habitat base and the side of the fish, little square tubes and pegs that I use to mount it with. I don't normally show that on the videos because it's kind of a boring, monotonous process, so I don't know if you guys have watched it or not. But if you'd like to see it, let me know in the comment section below, and I'll try and include that on the next project that I do. If you want to see it completed, you can follow me on my Facebook page at Wild Impressions Wood Carving by Danny Harris, or I also have an Instagram account. It's Danny Harris 1979, and I post pictures of the progress pictures all the way up to the finished piece mounted to the base. So if you want to see this guy mounted to its base, be sure to follow me on my Facebook page or Instagram, and I'll post pictures when I get that done. But I appreciate you guys watching. If you have any questions or comments, you can leave them for me in the comment section below. And if you're new to the channel, as always, I'd really appreciate if you consider subscribing, and give me a thumbs up if you like these videos, and be sure to hit that notification bell if you want to follow along when I post new videos. But I appreciate you guys watching, and I'll see you on the next project.